Story of the Dons 2022 season, told by MVP quarterback that year, Tyreek Thompson, Offensive Player of the Year that year, Jerome Simpson, and Defensive Player of the Year, Seth Schultz. So I want to know how everybody doing out there today. Hope everybody's doing fine, cutting toxic people out of their life, and thanking God every day that you're alive on this earth and keep pushing forward. And Sunday on simulation mode on the Madden, both conference championship games on my fun segment. The AFC side, Triangles and Shamrocks, and on the NFC side, Rams and Bulldogs. Both be on the Madden 10 simulation mode. The winner will play in the Mega Bowl on the Madden 10. So just bringing that to y'all. Valentine's Day is around the corner, so be ready. And I got a special video for a special lady, a poem. So be ready for that. And let's get this video started, and let's enjoy the story of the 2022 Los Angeles Dons. And there's that ring. I forgot to change the score, but that's okay. It's on here now. The Los Angeles Dons in the mid-late 2000s, in 05, and in 09, won Mega Bowls. But in the 2010s, they had a mediocre run. They went to the Mega Bowl in 2012 under Larry Hazel. They went to the 2012 Mega Bowl under Larry Hazel, but fell short to the same team that they beat in the 06 Mega Bowl. And from 2013 all the way through 2018, they had a mediocre run. And 2017 was their first losing season since the 2001 season. And in that mix of that were two players. One, they drafted two players that would change the course of the franchise. One, Seth Schultz in 2018, and before him, Tyreek Thompson, the quarterback, in 2017. Yeah, yeah. I remember that. Remember those times. I was drafted in 2017, out of Maryland. Yeah, I was drafted from Maryland, 2017. Going to the Dons. They were in the midst of transitioning, but also mediocre run, and that was the first losing season since '01 that the Dons have had, and I was just not. I really didn't play that year. I was just a rookie, just sitting and learning, waiting my chance to play. And once I got my chance, I just had to make the most of it. And then the next year, they drafted a defensive end that would change once again the course of the franchise. And Seth Schultz out of Texas A&M. Yeah, SEC. Just knowing that I'm going to one of the great organizations, but I'm going to an organization that's been on a mediocre run, and we're looking forward to change that and change the fortunes. And we just knew it wasn't going to be an easy process. We just knew that we just had to be patient and just continue to work hard, continue to fight, and hopefully things will turn better. But in 2018, things were a little crazy in 2018. The Dons only had 2 wins and maybe 5 losses, and then Larry Hazel was showing the door. Jim Ray took over. Seth Schultz, middle season, got his first chance, first glimpse of what the NFL football was like. Yeah, I mean It's different than the SEC, man. It's different in college. But I was prepared, but I had to prepare myself because I knew that the NFL wasn't college. This is a grown man business. Grown man business in the NFL. So I had to be ready for it. And Tyree Thompson, late in the year, starting in the Hawaii Kings game, the final game, got his first start, and he impressed it. And the Dons finished 2018 with an 8-8 record. Yeah, you know, yeah, it was a good game that I had, but we're just thinking, man, when are we going to get back to our winning ways? And we're just hoping that we need a coach that could just, with the talent with some of the talent that we had on our team, we're just hoping that a coach that could just come through and just get us back to our winning ways and get us back on track. And in 2019, that's what happened. The hiring of Manny Reyes. The hiring of Manny Reyes, who was the offensive coordinator for the Orlando Thunders in their championship run in 2011 and in 2015. Fun segment. But taking the Don's job in 2019 to him was a dream come true. I remember I remember him taking the job, and I remember him just I was just impressed of how he carries himself, his approach, his belief in the players. Willing to just work with the guys and hold guys accountable. But he's just a great man to talk to, and he's a great coach, great man, and I'm just happy to play for him. Yeah, and I remember first meeting with him. He told me, he said, "Hey, we're gonna turn this thing around," but he told me, "Hey, it's not set in stone that you're the starter, but if you continue to work hard here in training camp, if you work hard in training camp and just carry yourself and approach yourself the right way, and carry yourself the right way, I say, approach it the right way, it will be a chance that you will be the starting quarterback for the Dons." And in 2019, that's what ended up happening. Tyree Thompson was now the guy. And from the first game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Don's fans saw a glimpse of what was to come in the future. Yeah, I mean, beat Pittsburgh in that game, and we had our ups and downs, in 2019. But at the end of the day, we finished with a 10-6 record and went to the playoff bowl. In the playoff bowl, they beat the Tennessee Titans. And then the next year, things got better because in 2020 they went 15-1, won the first division crown since 2011. Been a decade. Yeah, decade. Been a decade since we won a division title. And it helps that they acquired a receiver from the Nebraska Triangles in Jerome Simpson. Yeah, yeah, just coming from Nebraska, where we just had some down years, but it just seemed like it seemed like I was the guy that was just the glue, but it seemed like I was the glue guy, but I'm just a receiver. I just wanted to do my job and I wanted to win. And the triangles, I just love the people in Nebraska, but I love the guys on the team, but it was just time to go to a franchise that I wanted to win now, and I wanted to win a championship. And being acquired by the Dons on their watch before the Cardinal game, it was just a dream come true because I always wanted to play for the Dons. And his first game against the Philadelphia Eagles, he showed out, having a remarkable season and finishing the season 15-1. But they won their first playoff game. They won their first playoff game since 2012. But in the NFC Championship game against Tampa, they fell short of the Mega Bowl. Oh man, I remember that game. I remember that game we blew. I mean, we had every opportunity to win that game against the Buccaneers, against Tom Brady and crew, and we just didn't get it done. I mean, just I mean, we had a touchdown and went through his hands, and then they got the ball, they got the first down, and when you know it, game's over. Same, the same was the following year. In 2021, they added a 17 game schedule. They went 15-1-1, won the NFC West, beat Montreal in the division round, but once again, in the NFC Championship game, came up short against their inner city rivals, the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah, that game, it was just that was just painful to watch. And once again at home, this time with the crowd, and then we lose. And on top of that, they're on our field celebrating with that. That really, that really just showed that okay, this got to change. We can't just keep coming up short. We got to find a way at some point to crack through, and hopefully, and in 2022, we were just thinking that that was going to be our year to crack through. So we just took that loss on the chin and was getting ready for 2022. All right, be right back. back. 2022 Los Angeles Dons. All right. In the 2022 season, the Dons were rejuvenated. But before the season kickoff, the Dons moved to a new division called the NFC Coastal. Yeah, the NFC Coastal. It was us, Spartans, Machine, and the Thunder, and that was gonna be that was gonna be interesting. But at the same time, it was a fun challenge. It was fun, but it was gonna be a challenge because we got to travel cross country. But hey, we're built for it. And Coach Reyes made sure that 2022 was gonna be their year. Yeah, I remember he told us, "Hey guys, we got to finish everything. We got to stay together. We got to play as one accord and just do not turn our back on each other. So we got to make sure once we get a lead, we stay on that lead. We keep increasing that lead. Don't let up. You keep your foot on the gas." But they had to start their game out in SoFi, where the team that beat them for the NFC Championship won the 2022 Megabowl in their own stadium, and they had banner night. Yeah, I remember. I remember that. We're playing them on checkerboard football, man, and they having a celebration, and they won the Mega Bowl, rightfully so. But that didn't mean shit to us. We wanted to show that, hey, this is our year, and we are gonna go out there and we was gonna kick their ass. And just like that, from the jump, the Dons took control of the game and never looked back. But it did come with a cost. Jerome Simpson, after he made a catch, dislocated his elbow. Yeah, that was a painful experience, and it was a painful experience because that never really happened. I never had an injury like that, and all I could do is just rely on the guys to bring it home for us, and that's what the Dons did. They beat the Rams in their first game, but the next week, but the next next 7 weeks, they would go without their star receiver. But they did win. But the guys did win. Oh, sorry. But the guys did beat the Kings, Bears. But the Dons did beat the Kings and Bears on their way to their trip to Hartford, Connecticut, where the Dons have never won there ever in franchise history. Yeah, yeah, that was a place that we never won. We never won in Hartford, Connecticut, and it was going to be on a Sunday night, and we were looking to change that narrative. And of course, we had to do without Jerome Simpson, but I was confident that guys was going to step up. Yeah, when you got great group of men like we got, great group of teammates like we got, it's just it's important that guys step up and meet the challenge and try to win and try to help the team win, even when your stars are out. And on that Sunday night in Hartford, that's what the Dons did. They dominated the Shamrocks in Week 4 on Sunday night, and their record ballooned to 4-0. Yeah, we were on the right track, and I just told the guys to keep it up, man, just to keep it up. And that's something that Tyree Thompson always talked about. Yeah, just trying to always stay on schedule, try to stay positive, and always want to be a step ahead. And that's always been my mantra ever since I was a youngster. Growing up, growing up in New York in a diverse, yeah, growing up in New York in a diverse city, in a diverse neighborhood. His father was white, mother Colombian, so he was half white, half Colombian. Yeah, yeah, that's the reason. Yeah, glad you say that because I'm proud of, I love my parents. They brought me up the right way. My mom was Colombian, my father's white. They met, they met a long time ago. They told me they met at some place, and from that moment, they just struck up a great kinship, and just hey, and they raised it. They raised me right, and they always told me, always do right by people. treat people right, and work always work hard. You always work hard, and don't ever settle for less, and don't treat people that's less than poorly. Treat people as such, and greatness will always come back to you. And that's what Tyree Thompson carry every day on the field. Yeah, I'm glad he's my quarterback, man. You can just see it in practice. You can see it in the film room. You can see it daily, every day, in his everyday life. That's just how he carries himself. That's just Tyree Thompson. He just comes out, does his job. Great leader, great man, and I'm just glad he's on my team. Yeah, I'm glad that he. I'm glad that I be catching passes from him. Even though those 7 weeks I was out, um, I was just happy to be on the team and happy to be just happy to be on the team and just happy he throwing not just me the ball but other receivers that stepped up when I was out, and that just shows the great character of Tyree Thompson. Yeah, and the character carried on carried on into the next week in Orlando. Yeah, that's Coach Ray's old stomping grounds, and now we're Coastal Division rivals, and this is going to be a test. Our first ever NFC Coastal Divisional game, and it's in Orlando, and boy, that was something. And in their first NFC Coastal meeting with the Orlando Thunder, the Dons once again dominated. And Seth Schultz had 5 sacks in that game, or was it 5 sacks in that game, and making his stake the claim as Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, it's just about me working hard, just going out there, just 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 working hard and just playing accordingly, and we got just surround myself with great guys and great group of talent and great coaching staff that we have. We just It's just all about winning, and we just took control of that game. And the Dons once again went to the old stomping grounds of Coach Reyes and won. And yeah, I'm thinking, hey, if we keep this momentum up, this is gonna be this is gonna be a great this is gonna be a great year for us. So all we had to do is just keep winning and keep grinding and keep working, and eventually we'll be world champions if we keep amounting and keep carrying ourselves that way. Be right back, people. 2022 LA Dons. All right. All right. Seth Schultz. Story of a man that grew up in Texas. All right, just 13 minutes out of Dallas. Yeah, my dream was always to play for the Dallas Cowboys. And, but that didn't happen. I got drafted by the Dons, another great organization. And, but I always was a Cowboy fan. Growing up 13 minutes outside of Dallas, watching Tony Romo, um, watching DeMarcus Ware before he went to the Broncos, and Jason Witten and all those guys, and just thinking, man, I wish one day I would go. I wish one day I'd get drafted by the Cowboys. But those things were not the case. So was his college journey. Always wanted to go to Texas. Always wanted to go to the University of Texas, but Texas didn't want me. So I settled for Texas A&M, became an Aggie, and made a name for myself. And he played alongside another great defensive end in Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett. Oh yeah, that's my guy, man. That's my guy. He came out in 2017. He got drafted in 2017. I got drafted the following year. He came in the year before I did. So, but we developed a bond, and Texas guys growing up, one always wanted to be for the Cowboys. Growing up as Cowboys fans, and man, he's with the Cleveland Browns, and I'm with the LA Dons. But hey, we're doing great things. But Seth Schultz, his work ethic, second to none. Yeah, man, you see him in the weight room, also in the film room, and just how he carries himself. And he's just a guy that likes to work, man. He likes to play the game, and he loves the game. Yeah, and that's my dad. My dad was always a big inspiration. He did serve in the military. So, I got that discipline background, but at the same time, he was always there. He always looking out for the family. He always showed us love and compassion, you know, and he always said, hey, play, hey, just give it 110%. Go out there, play hard, be the best guy on the field or whatever you do. Be the best out there what you do, and then the rewards will come. And in the game against the Spartans, another NFC. Well, the game against the Riders, once again, he had another three-sack performance. Yeah, I mean, just going out doing our job, just playing well, and just keeping the winning rolling. After the win over their other NFC coastal rivals, the West Virginia Spartans, the Dons traveled to Lincoln, Nebraska, where Jerome Simpson made his return and made it in a big way. Yeah, going back to Lincoln, Nebraska, going back to the Triangles, this time in the Dons uniform. Um, just knowing that we got to play well, because they were playing, they were a pretty good team as well. They went to the playoff last year without me, and now they're there. They're playing good football, and now everyone's tuning into this game, and all I gotta do is show what I do. I just had a great feeling he was gonna have a good game. And on that day in Lincoln, Nebraska, Jerome Simpson, back from injury, showed up. Had big day. Scored 3 touchdowns, caught a lot of passes, and had a lot of yards. As the Dons romped all over the Triangles 48-7. Yeah, that was a big day. I mean, I never thought I was gonna have that big of a day, and it was just fascinating to just knowing that we're playing well and just playing the best ball so far this season. It's just great. And in Jerome Simpson's case, he grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, growing up in that, growing up in Atlanta, um, just knowing that it was just it was tough. I mean, growing up. but my dad, he was in and out of jail. My mom, did everything she can before she passed, before she passed away, and I had to live with my grandparents. And my grandparents, my grandfather was a big inspiration. He was a big football fan, and crazy enough, he was a big Dons fan. The old man was a Dons fan, and I'm just like, man, especially watching Derek Vance and Warwick Locker back in the mid late 2000s, and they're winning mega bowls and Coach White, and it just made me get a love for the game, and knowing that kept me out of the streets, kept me out of trouble. And like Seth, he told me be the best guy out there. Be the best guy that do it and play and just give it your all. And that's what my grandfather in particular told me. He's always a big football fan. My grandmother, she was more in the church, you know, but she would wish me well, hope that I do well. And she was at my games, even though she was not a big sports fan. She she really she really would encourage me to do good, and that's what I try to do. And in his father's case, his father passed away in prison. Yeah, both my parents are deceased now, and I wish I could talk to my father, but he's gone as well. So the only father figure that I have is my only parent, only father figure I have is my grandfather, and mother figure I have is my grandmother. So I just I just talk to them before the game. I call them before I play, and I call them after the game, and I call them pretty much every day on constant basis. Yeah, on a constant basis, I call them just to see how they're doing, make sure everything's okay, and I call them before I go to the game, and I call them after win or lose, and say the Mega Bowl. Well, they were at the Mega Bowl, so I made sure they came to the Mega Bowl. But after every game, win or lose, I call them, and except that Mega Bowl, they both came to Arizona, and I just wanted to make sure they were there, and I was just happy that they were. Well, and just wanted to make sure they were there. Yeah, I mean Jerome is one of those special receivers that you know he's gonna make a play. It doesn't matter if you double team him, don't matter if you triple team him, he's gonna find a way to make a play. He can run precise routes like in mega bowls. Not only he's not only the best, deep ball. I mean, deep ball receiver to get the ball, but he can run good routes, and he could just he can just make plays not only with his playmaking ability, but he can make it with his mind. He's one of the smart receivers that I have. He's one of these smart receivers in the league, and he's on our team, and one that I can that share a core with, and Jenkins was no slouch neither, but Jerome Simpson, he just brings that different element to our team that could just take us to the next level. And and then the next three games, the Dons continue to roll. After their bye week, went to Lambeau, crushed the Packers, and getting ready for their Thanksgiving matchup against the Eagles. Oh yeah, that game. That game was going to determine who might get home field advantage and who might be the best team in the NFC. And we just went out there on in Rose Bowl, and we put on a show. And just like that, they defeated the Philadelphia Eagles in their 1948 throwbacks, which is on this channel on Thanksgiving night, and showed the Eagles who's the best team in the NFC. Yeah, and that was just a great night. We call it Turkey Night game because it's Thanksgiving night, and Seth always want to take a bite of my turkey, but hey, it was all good. Hey, win the Mega Bowl. Hey, we all deserve to eat, and I'll be right back. right, 22, the 2022 Los Angeles Dons. America's Game Story back on full effect. The next game after the Thanksgiving win over the Eagles is in Mexico City on a Sunday night against the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, that NorCal team, our former division rivals in the NFC West, and we're playing them in Mexico City. And boy, one thing I love to do is beat their ass because I cannot stand the 49ers. I hate them. I can't stand them. I just want to kick their ass every time I see them. And in Mexico City on a Sunday night, the Dons did just that. Beat the 49ers and won their first ever NFC Coastal Division title. Yeah, that was a special night. I mean, Manny Reyes going back to his homeland in Mexico City. Um, homeland because he's a Mexican descendant. He's a Mexican, he's Mexican descent, and we just happened to get that win, and we won the first ever NFC Coastal Division there, and it was just unbelievable, just an unbelievable feeling. And they rolled the next game against the Panthers until they met the Thunder, and they lost their first game of the season. Yeah, that was disappointing. We lost our first divisional game. Lost our first divisional game to the Thunder, and it was at home, and we felt like we should have dominated. But the Thunder, give them credit, they did a good job. And then the next game, they would lose again to the New York Football Giants in MetLife Stadium. Yeah, that was disappointing. I mean, that was disappointing because we want to finish the season strong, but we were starting to get a little leaky, and we were not happy about that. And after the game, I told the team, from this point on, start next week and throughout the postseason, we're going 7-0 down the stretch. I told the team we're going 7-0 down the stretch. We're not losing no more games. So what we got to do is we got to pick ourselves up and get ready for whoever's on our schedule next week and just dominate down the rest of the way. And that started in Montreal, the second time, another NFC Coastal Division rival. And the Dons would do just that. Yeah, guys came out, fire in their eyes. We just wanted to win that game. We wanted to send a statement that not only the NFC Coastal is our division, but we're going to let the NFC and the NFL know this is our time. And we're not going to let anybody, including the Montreal that we play, get in our way. And the Dons won that game to finish the season 15-2 and the number one seed in the postseason. And now they're ready to make their postseason run. Yeah, so we finished the season hot, but we got a lot more work to do in the postseason. So we had to get ready and just get ready and dominate the postseason. Be right back after this. All right, 2022, Los Angeles Dons in the playoffs, the Super Wild Card. Once again, round three with the Orlando Thunder, the NFC Coastal Division rival. Yeah, and it was on a Monday night in the Rose Bowl, and we knew that they beat us the second time. We beat them the first time, so we just knew we had to take care of business. And in the playoffs, it wasn't easy. Against the Thunder, it wasn't easy, but the Dons in the second half took control. Yeah, we just knew we had to make some key stops in that game. We knew we had to force some turnovers against Campbell. Against Campbell, that's his name, and just make plays. And yeah, we just came out with the win. And eventually, the Dons pulled away with a 28-13 win over the Thunder. And that was a big win for us against Travis Campbell and the Thunder and crew. We got them. We beat them in the postseason. And now off to the NorCal team in the divisional round. That game was a classic. Yeah, I mean they come to our house for the divisional round, and like I said, former NFC West rivals, but still in-state rivals. It's just that feeling, that feeling with them. It's just is you know it don't go away. When you play against them, it doesn't go away. But that was a close game. One of the most classic games. It was back and forth. It was hard hitting, and it came down to one team making a mistake. Yeah, we're up three, and I know I don't know what they're thinking on the side was, but we punt the ball, and I think the guy fielded and he muffed the punt. He muffed the punt. Downs recovered, and we just ran out the clock and took a knee, and we're on to the NFC Championship game. And the Dons, once again, did it to the 49ers again. And this time, for the third straight year, going to the NFC Championship game. Yeah, we're playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Yep. Up next with the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, we knew we had to win that game. We've been there so many times. We've been close so many times. And for the third straight year in a row to be disappointed, that would just it would just I don't know, man. It would destroy us. But against the Philadelphia Eagles, the game was tightly contested in the first half. I mean, give Philadelphia credit. Jalen Hurts, they were doing their thing, and we was just trying to find a way. It was close at halftime, and I remember Coach Ray he said, guys, all we got to do is just execute. Just execute, do what we're supposed to do our job correctly, and we'll run away with this one. And in the second half, that's what the Dons did. They ran away with the game, dominated Philadelphia down the stretch, and punched their ticket to Glendale, Arizona. Yeah, I mean the offense. They scored a lot of points every time. Every time we forced a turnover, and I was just so happy that I got a sack, got two sacks in that game. If I'm not mistaken, I forced a turnover, and we forced some turnovers, and the offense took advantage. Yeah, that's what the coaching staff, Coach Reyes in particular, said. Hey, take advantage of the turnovers, and that's what we did that day. And hey, we got the job done. And just like that, the Dons were going to the Mega Bowl for the first time since 2012. Yeah, that was a great feeling. I mean, to be out there, my parents, celebrating with them, not only with my parents, but with my teammates and coaching staff. It was just a great feeling, that family atmosphere. Some of the former players that won those two Mega Bowls in '05 and '09 was there celebrating with us, knowing that, hey, we accomplished one half of the mission, but the But you got one more mission to complete, and that's to win the Mega Bowl. And we made sure we were gonna get that done. Oh man, that was one of the best feelings in the world, knowing that we are going to the Mega Bowl. We're going to the Mega Bowl in 2 weeks, and just man, it's just it don't get no better feeling than that. It doesn't get any better than that. And just to see that, and just to hug Coach Reyes, and see my family, and see the Dons Nation fans and the band and our band playing in the USC marching band there, and just it was just bananas, man. But it was all great because they know we got one more left, and we got to get it done. And one more is what the Dons need to win that game, to win the 2023 Mega Bowl. They have to play their best. We just got to play our best game in 2 weeks, whoever we play, whether it was the Chiefs or the Bengals. So, hey, yeah, hey. So 2023 Mega Bowl is all we got. And I'll be right back after this. All right, 2022 Los Angeles Dons. All right, the Dons were going to the Mega Bowl in Glendale, Arizona, State Farm Stadium against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh man, that was gonna be a special treat. Oh boy, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Woo, man. Like I said, that's what the Dons organization is all about. Want to compete against the best, and if you don't want to go against the best, it says a lot about you. You're not really a competitor. If you want to be a competitor and you want to be a winner, you want to go against the best. You want to play against the best, and you want to beat the best. Yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah, I just couldn't. Man, that was gonna be outstanding. Dons and Chiefs, 2023 Mega Bowl. Don't get no better than that. Weeks leading up to the Mega Bowl, Coach Reyes harped on his team about, hey, not letting up. Just stay on the attack, stay on the aggression because the Chiefs can come back in any second during the game. So he made sure that he keep his team focused and keep his team prepared and keep them on a steady level, and not get complacent. Yeah, I mean, he just told us, hey, we got to stay on top of our game. We can't let the Chiefs get on their little hot streak because they will break your heart. So we know that we got to stay on our game, and stay and just stay after it. Yeah, I mean, we had a great week of practice that week. I mean, guys were ready for this game. Guys were on time. You know, of course, we had the media night and all that, but when all that's settled, it's all about getting back to work, getting back to focus, and getting back to what we need to do to win the championship. And on the day, and on that day, on President's Day on a Monday, the Los Angeles Dons will get their chance in the 2023 Mega Bowl against Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, it's all about doing our job. It's all about executing. And not to mention Tyree Thompson was the 2022 league MVP. Fun segment, y'all. Yeah, I got the league MVP, but I couldn't do it without my teammates. They the ones helped me along the way to get to this point. So, and it was my second one, by the way. So it was courtesy of my teammates. I mean, couldn't happen without them. Jerome Simpson, Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, great individual award. It was a great accomplishment, but we knew we had to finish the job in Glendale, and to go into that game against the Chiefs and lose and not play our best. All those accolades didn't mean nothing. The job's been unfinished. And Offensive Player of the Year, Jerome Simpson. Oh man, it was just great, but we got one more game. And in the 2023 Mega Bowl, the Dons got off to a hot start. All right, Tyree Thompson threw a 16, one of the craziest touchdown passes ever in Mega Bowl history. A 16-yard touchdown to Jerome Simpson. Yeah, the center snapped the ball, and he kind of snapped it kind of high, and I kind of didn't handle it, but I found the ball, picked it up, and I tried to throw it away. To be honest with you, I tried to throw the football away, and it was crazy, and it just landed. I tried to throw it away in the back of the end zone, but luckily it got tipped, and I tried to throw it away, and it got tipped, and luckily Jerome Simpson was right there to catch it. Yeah, just had to be there at the right place at the right time, and it makes it one of the most iconic plays, not only in league history, not only in Mega Bowl history and Dons history, but in Mega Bowl history. And the Dons, despite two missed extra points, they were up 18 at halftime. Yeah. Now I remember Coach Reyes said, "Hey, don't let up. Do not let up. Stay on the attack. Yeah, stay on the attack. Do not let up. Keep the pressure on them." And in the second half, that's what the Dons did. Jimmy Diaz ran a 30-yard touchdown, and not Jerome Sim, Seth Schultz had a good game. Yeah, 3 sacks. I may have had one tackle, but I had 3 sacks on Patrick Mahomes. And the defense will have 6 sacks overall over on Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, our defense, we were ready for this game. Just make sure, you just have to just really defend him because he can run, he can move, and do all these great things. So we had to stay on our P's and Q's to make sure he don't get loose. And defense did a real good job, and Rich Morales had an interception in that game. Yeah, interception in the first half. And then in the fourth quarter, the Dons put the game away. All right. And Tyree Thompson's 14-yard touchdown pass to Shelton Jenkins. The score was actually 32-20 instead of 33-20, y'all. That's on the 2023 Mega Bowl with the Chiefs on my old channel, Mike the Dons fan. It's actually 32-20 instead of 33-20, y'all. So just letting y'all know. So Tyree Thompson threw his last touchdown pass to Shelton Jenkins. his fourth of the game. Yeah, and I made sure, and I threw the four different receivers that night, and they all stepped up, all made plays, and we ended up with the Mega Bowl victory. And just like that, even though the Chiefs scored a late touchdown, the Dons got it was the final first down to ensure that the Dons were going to be Mega Bowl champions. And I remember Reyes coming to the sideline, looking me, telling me, hey, we need to get this yard, get this win, you know, and let's be world champions. And I went to the huddle and I told the team, hey, it's 4th and 1, let's get this yard. And offensive line said, and I remember he said, F yeah, let's get this effing yard and let's win the championship. And once I think once Siobhan Wells got that first down, or one of the backs got the first down, it was game over, and we knew we were going to be world champions. And just like that, the Los Angeles Dons won their third Mega Bowl in franchise history, and Tyree Thompson was the 2023 Mega Bowl MVP. Oh man, it was just a great feeling to know that we're Mega Bowl champions, and to celebrate with the teammates and with our families and the coaches and the organization. I couldn't have been more proud. I was very happy for Tyreek, very happy for Tyreek, and man, just to know that we're Mega Bowl champions, just to know that we're Mega Bowl champions, it's just a great feeling in the world. Yeah, man, like I said, my grandparents came to the game, came to Glendale. I mean, and when I was in high school, they came to all my games. Even in college, they came to my games. Pros, not so much, but they, every once in a while in the pros. But that night here in Glendale, Arizona, they were there, and man, it was just a great feeling, and just to know that their grandson had won the Mega Bowl for the first time in his career and in his life. It's just a great honor and privilege, and I did the Simpson family name proud, and did the Simpson family name. I did them proud, and you just see, I mean, this championship ring, this championship ring will last forever. No one can take this ring away from us. The ring is all about the sacrifice, the hard work, the preparation and all that we put into to earn this. It was just all satisfying, gratifying at the end. It was just satisfying at the end to know that we're Mega Bowl champions, and we add on to the legacy of what the teams in the mid late 2000s did. It just doesn't get any greater. I mean, man, that night in Glendale against Kansas City, um, just couldn't say enough, man. I can't say enough. Just knowing that we're Mega Bowl world champions, and this is gonna go a long way. And that memory that we have winning the Mega Bowl against Kansas City will endure us forever, family forever. And I'm just happy that not only winning the Mega Bowl, but winning the Mega Bowl MVP on top of that, and Manny Reyes, just a great coach, just helped me along the way, working together, and we just, man, just love playing for that man. I love playing for that man. We all do, but me in particular, just, man, just a great joy to be around this organization, this organization, the city of Los Angeles, the second largest market in America, one of the strongest brands here, the Dons in LA and probably in the world, Dons fans around the world. Just, man, great feeling. Just a great feeling. That parade, that parade, it was crazy like no other, man. The fans were out cheering us, and it was just great, man, to see all the Dons fans in LA from Sixth Street, Santa Monica, downtown, and just everywhere that they can come out. And not only that, we celebrate the rest of it in the Rose Bowl stadium, and just it was just a great feeling to know that, man, we brought the we brought the Mega Bowl championship trophy back to Los Angeles and back to the Dons organization, and I couldn't be more happy to see those thousands of people out there in the Rose Bowl, knowing that we done one hell of a job of bringing the championship to the Dons organization and back to the city of LA. Um, you can't write a better script than that. Yeah, just great people, and just one fan just said thank you, man. He came up to me, a big Dons fan. He said thank you for bringing the Mega Bowl championship back to us, to Dons fans here in the city of LA, the real team in the original team in LA, the 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 original team in LA. I just want to say thank you, and I told him thank you. And it's just going to show you what a championship does to a city and a town. And I was just glad to be part of it. If you enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, feel free to subscribe, share with your family, friends, and I'll catch you on the next one. Mike the LA Dons fan, signing off. Peace. Go Dons.